Hey guys, so today's episode 1 of our podcast slash video. We don't know what we're calling yet, but basically what we're doing is we're both into business books. Josh is an entrepreneur. I'm a wantrepreneur, I guess that's a terminology until I actually become an entrepreneur. But basically we've been reading a bunch of books and we're just going to discuss what we learn about it, what we like about it, how it's helpful, how it's not helpful. It's kind of like a book review, but with real life examples. So today we're doing Gary Vee's
Crushing It,
yep. So we've both been following Gary Vee's YouTube channel. Josh has been following his podcast. Look, he's a very influential guy. He knows his stuff. He's shown what he knows. And so in today's book, Crushing It, it's basically his examples of other people who've succeeded it and how crushing it kind of helped them get to it. So it's real life examples, as well as like his recommendation of what to use for media. For instance, how to use Facebook, how to use Snapchat, Instagram, what's the other one? Twitter.
He even talks about Musically,
yeah.
He even goes into Amazon, Alexa skills, things of that nature.
So he talks about the past, the present, and the future of broadcasting, basically, in different forms. So audio, blogging, and video, saying where to go from what.
Yeah.
So, I mean, here I'm going to read a little notes I took of it. Basically says...
And for those of you who don't know, he's also from New York. He's also from Jersey, but he lives and works in New York, and we're from New York.
Yeah.
So why not?
Yeah. So one of them we're discussing one of the notes I wrote down from him. Basically, he breaks down like how to use each social media. So he says, if they're in Twitter, they're likely trying to keep up with current news. If they're on Facebook, they're probably catching up with friends and family. They even go to Snapchat to consume a blip of entertainment on their lunch break. But they go to YouTube when they're in the mood to settle in for the evening with long-form video, the same way the TV used to be prior. So basically what he's saying here is, although you want to release content to every single channel, but you got to release it in a strategic way. You're not going to release a video on Twitter, because Twitter has now 1-minute videos, but people are going Twitter for news. They don't want to watch a video. But YouTube's the video. Like, you want to sit down on your lunch break, you want to watch a YouTube video. I mean, we've both been guilty of watching YouTube during our lunch break at home. I mean, no one really honestly watches TV anymore. YouTube now has YouTube Red. They even have original programming. So, I mean, that's the go-to. And he's saying how now, like, the future is basically Alexa skills or Google Home, basically where it goes, you want a quick Snapchat of what's going on in the news. Like, before, when I had a TV, I used to go Channel 1 News. It gives me your news every 10 minutes, the weather, what's going on, and what you can be looking forward to. It's a quick synopsis of what's coming. And that's what Google is, that's what Alexa is. And he's saying that those people who can program to that and go out to the market quickly will be successful in the next 5 years. Because there's Musically, where there was one example of a teacher, how she was I think an art teacher or a dance teacher.
Yeah, dance teacher for the camp, counselor.
Yeah.
And she was a professional dancer, it didn't work out. And then she ran her family's camp, and it
wasn't doing as well. Yeah. And then she saw like one of the kids there was doing an app Musically, which is basically lip singing with dancing, lip singing, and how the kids were doing it. And she's like, well, here's a beautiful example. Why don't you let the kids do it themselves? And then she got parents' permission, of course, because I mean you're recording kids, and they perform their own content, so it's free content. The kids like it, they share it, so it's free advertising. And in the end of the day, the way advertising works is word of mouth. That's why we have now YouTube, we have Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, everything is word of mouth. And now before in the days you had to go literally person to person, but now it's so like that. If you have people who have 10,000 followers, millions of followers, your word gets heard around the world, and then friends of friends get heard of it. Like, I'm sure like this is a Gary Vee posted his book online. Everyone knew about it because you have followers, and he shares it in different ways, right? And also, basically, a lot of the content is that don't ask first. You know, you can't be like, hey, can I get $5? You got to give people free information usually, and just keep giving. And at a certain point, people just want to give back. There's one very interesting example. I think it was the LET exam. I think it's like based on law, specific thing, where this guy basically had a website of his own, which was how he practiced for the test, which is a very hard test. I think only 30% people take it past. And then he was just curious to implement Google Analytics to see how many people are using his website. So he gets thousands of views, and he's like, well, shit, maybe I should just put in some Google ads there. And then he was making money. He decided he was making like $1 for his time. He's like, oh, wow, I didn't even know something I had going on there for years ago was useful. So at a certain point, he just decided to create an ebook, and people would just give him it was $20. People were just buying his book, and then some of the comments was like, I didn't need your book, but I was just so grateful for you providing so much free content that I wanted to pay you back somehow. So he wasn't even asking for like people to buy his ebook. He's like, let me just put it out there, see if people want it. And people are like, I'm so grateful you give me so much free stuff. I feel like this is the very least I can give back to you. And that's how he started. So they're just giving free content. Like Josh, he has his own blog, he has his own podcast, he has his own books. He's been giving stuff away. He's not charging, he's not putting anything out there. He just
only for the book I charge.
Yeah, but
I give content.
Book is different. That's it's a non-fiction book. Sorry, fiction book. That's different. That's not necessarily related to what
everything,
you provide.
Because I learned from Gary Vee, which is why when this book came out, I bought it right away. Yeah. And as he was saying, you can't put out the same content, which is true. If I post on Facebook, I put something different than if I post on Twitter.
Yeah.
And social media is the way things happen now. I bought another book by Bill Gates because he recommended it on Twitter. And that's the whole thing because of the branding, and this book is all about that.
It is.
Let's see what's your next note.
Actually, no, before we go there, we actually were in Barnes & Noble like about 20 minutes ago. We just ran into a guy who was holding Crushing It. And I thought it was just like, I was complimenting, hey, that's a good book choice. And then we actually got into a conversation, and apparently he's relatively high up there. He sells to TJ Maxx and other stores.
He's in fashion.
Yes.
We were talking about branding, and branding is such a big part. And for him to grab the Gary Vaynerchuck Crushing It means something.
Yeah, and he himself said he's looking for other people how to brand. So here you go. This guy's probably been in the industry at least 20, 30 years, and now he's just getting into branding. But there's people who've been on Snapchat for like 5, 10 years or whatever it came out, and they've been doing it for so long. So the whole point is, if you get first mover's advantage, like first into Alexa skills or Google skills, and you own it, you will own the space for at least the next 3-4 years. At that point,
your name's already in there.
$100,000, $1 million. Yeah,
it's like Walmart. You think discounters? Say Walmart, and that's why we started reading Sam Walton's Made in America.
Yeah, it's a very good book. Interesting about his biography. I haven't read it all. Josh is almost done with it. But anyways, next note. Josh, you talk for now. I'm gonna look into.
Let me give you more Gary Vee insight while he talks. Gary Vaynerchuck. This is a follow-up book for Crush It, which was the original one he wrote 8 years ago, before social media was a big thing, before Facebook ads, before Instagram stories, all this, before influencers were a thing. He was the main influencer. And he outlines how he got to his status. And he brought his father's liquor store up to a $50 million business from $3 million. And he gave it to his father. He took no money out of that. And he started his ad agency, VaynerMedia, and now it's a $150 million company.
I think something important is on page 92 and 93 of the ebook, there's a quote that goes along the lines like, but everyone looks like an ass when trying something new. Everyone's an ass until they're pioneer. Basically, it means don't be afraid to try something new. If someone says, oh, you're never going to make it, or like, you have the same thing. You have friends who tell you can't make it. You have family who can't tell you make it. They say it's a stupid idea. It's because no one's done it before. It's the same thing. Everyone's an ass until they try it. Like the first time Ben & Jerry's created ice cream, like, oh, that doesn't make sense. Why would you start in Canada when it's cold in Canada? Who's going to buy ice cream? But they made it work, right? Ben & Jerry's is worth hundreds of millions of dollars. Look, let's just be for real. When you're hungry and you want ice cream, you think of Ben & Jerry's. That's the first choice. And where they start off in Canada, where it's cold. So don't let others stop you from doing what you believe in. Go for it.
Yeah,
do other things as well. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, but do the research before you jump into it, because you don't want to spend thousands of dollars just because you feel it's the right thing. Look into it, do the research, and then just, if you believe in it, go for it.
Prime example, when you're a kid or you have a kid and they learn to walk, they're going to look retarded. They're going to be bow-legged because they don't know what they're doing. But then they're going to make it, which is the whole thing. You can't expect to be great in the beginning. Look at all these industries that have changed. Prime example, Tesla, Elon Musk. Everybody made fun of him, want to make this cars electric. It's not going to work. And look at how much he's done already. Self-driving cars. Everybody's skeptical. It's becoming a thing.
Yeah.
AI learning. We all are skeptics in the beginning. Just phone recording.
True. Same with cryptocurrency. I mean, for the beginning, people don't believe in it. But, I mean, look, it fell, it's back up. But the point is this. People are resistant to change. and sometimes you just gotta let things go with the flow. I mean, same thing with, like you said before, computers. First time computers would come, like, that's never happened. First time when a telephone came out, they said that was never gonna happen. First time a car came out, they said that will never be the horse. Why would cars go? Cars need oil.
Yeah.
Cars are so slow. That's because it was the beginning stages. So let me read another quote, and this is actually really true, and it basically goes like, Tom's shoes, how they have a story behind it, because every one shoe you buy, you get a shoe for a kid in Africa, and it goes with this. Every brand I've spoken to, they aren't just a product, they have a story, and they want to share it. This is on page 138. It basically means that you can't just release a product. You can't go, hey, buy my mask or buy my hat. Why would someone buy your hat? What's the point of your hat? What makes your hat special? Maybe if it's like a celebrity wears it, sure, like FUBU, but FUBU was more. FUBU stood for hip hop. That was the brand. It wasn't just like FUBU for nothing. It was a
Power
brand.
Broke. Read that book.
Yeah, Power Broke, David Johnson. I mean, what you want to do is
you want to sell the story, not the item.
Exactly.
Like,
good.
Prime example, Uber. You sell the story of Uber. No, not Uber really, but let's just say, prime example, McDonald's.
Sure.
One of the biggest franchises in the world, and they made a movie, Ray Kroc.
Yeah.
And you got to learn the story of McDonald's.
Yeah.
And did you not go and buy more McDonald's because of that?
Also, you got Super Size Me with people where you had, I forgot the name, the guy.
Yeah.
He was eating super-sized meals almost every single day for 30 days. He gained a ton of weight. Change your view of McDonald's, but you still get McDonald's. I mean, but that's the thing. Movies tell a story. Real life tells a story. When you write a blog post, you're telling a story. And also, I want to reiterate what we were saying before about starting a thing. Josh wrote a blog post about how being an entrepreneur is lonely. And it is. I mean, real life is lonely as well, but being an entrepreneur is lonely. Sometimes when you're just going to a new space where people don't believe you and people are just going against you, it's lonely. You get so much people telling you no. You get rejection all the time. You just need to believe in yourself. Yeah, exactly. You just do it. Just like Nike, you just do it. And that was the whole brand of Nike when they came out with Just Do It. It was like very simple 3 words, but effective, right?
Okay, so
you had fucking Shia LaBeouf talk about just do it.
Yeah.
So I mean, sorry.
No, so Gary Vee in the book literally says, eat shit.
Yeah.
You're going to eat shit, which means times are going to be hard.
Yeah.
He's real. That's what I love about Gary Vee. He doesn't sugarcoat it, things of that nature. If you don't like real talk, don't listen or read this book. Yeah. But Gary Vee talks and breaks it down and says, hey, you're going to eat shit. You're not going to get successful in 1 year, 2 years, maybe even 8.
You got to have patience. You have to have speed. What else?
You got to work hard.
Work hard, yeah.
So in this book, he has all these people who change their life with Crush It. That's what it is. It's people giving their testimony on the book, how it changed their life. Yeah. And it's not success overnight. Like he said about the elite exam, how the guy didn't even know he could make so much money. You had another story in there about a man a father helped his son with a science project, cutting open like golf balls and stuff like that to see what's inside, and turned it into a YouTube channel, and now he gets endorsements.
But the thing you didn't know ahead of time, that YouTube channel, was he had 6, 7 other YouTube channels, which they failed, but he learned everything from everyone. The important thing is, don't let failure stop you. Failure is your learning step, and you need to fail. If you're always succeeding, how do you know you're doing a good job? What if someone comes at you and all of a sudden you're screwed? Failure is good as long as you learn from it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so I guess this wraps up our section of Gary Vee's Crushing It. Stay tuned next week till when we review the next book. I guess Sam Walton Made in America.
Or The Richest Man in Babylon.
Yep, or The Richest Man in Babylon.
Or both.
There you go.
See ya.
Thanks, guys.